Many of you may know the Akright Projects, you may not know the person behind them, but he's a man who has been in Uganda's business space for the better part of the last 35 to 40 years. And we are very excited, Doctor, for you accepting to come and share with entrepreneurs. The majority of entrepreneurs here are running businesses, some big, some small, some medium size, but they really have a passion to win. And every Thursday morning they come and they listen to people like you to share your wisdom, share what you have learned, and walk that journey. So it is against that background, Doctor, that I invite you. Please go ahead and welcome us. You could also have the slides shared and you can get on with your presentation. Doctor, over to you.
Thank you. I think you allow me to share with you the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Dr. Anatoli Kamugisha, CEO Akright Projects, and I am here to have a conversation with you and tell you the story and take you through my experience as the CEO of the company. What is it? Yeah. Yesterday was 9th April 2025. Akright clicked 26 years. 26 years in existence since it was born, because it was born on 9th April 1999. So by yesterday, we're celebrating our 26 years in existence. It's not easy to live 26 years, because most companies they usually die in 5 years, but 26 years is really great. So we thank God for having made us survive up this year. Of course, we are saying we are supposed to celebrate 25 years for such a kind of achievement, but we have said we shall celebrate in 2027. That we shall be 28 years, and the reason is that we the founders, we shall be celebrating our 40 years in as childhood friends who started Akright. You know, Akright is AK, then Right, meaning Anatoli Kamugisha and Alex Kamukama, who make Akright. Akright, all the business of Akright was not built on based on capital or on the amount of money we had. It was built on principle of character, and the core character. The character has 5 components, which I think is the one that created the capital of Akright. One, the character had something called courage. We are too courageous to do anything big and lift it with or without anything called liquid cash. Another thing is that we had a lot of total commitment. We are too committed to do anything with or without. We are committed to deliver. 3, consistency. We had no room for compromise on anything called quality. So we were too strong in maintaining the quality. 4, our character was so accommodative, because we were able to even meet any highest person on whether he's a president, whether he's a man from the World Bank, or whether he's a local person. We are able to reach every person at every level, and that we are so accommodative, and we were able to know all the realities of all different people. Um, we had also a character of creativity. Everything that we are doing, we are creating, because it was always a problem, but we are creating a solution. If this is a problem, what is the solution? So every time we built Akright based on creativity, creating solutions. Everything is a problem, but what can be the solution? So those five principles, rotating on our character, became our capital and the one that built Akright. Of course, to jumpstart a business like that one in an environment where there were, because in 1999 there were no mortgage financing in Uganda, and there were no construction financing also in Uganda by that time. It was only national housing, which was not as a bank, but it was a department of national housing that was dealing with mortgages, but as a department. But there were nothing, something called mortgages. So to start a business in an environment where there is no construction funding, no mortgage financing, it was very, very, very difficult. But because of those five uh, principles I've talked about, they couldn't have. I mean, they managed to lift, to jumpstart the what was impossible becoming possible. Um, of course, generously, of course, they were so much lucky that we managed to have some people who sold us very big chunks of land, and managed to get land that was able to make us develop a smart city called the smart city called Akright City. Of course, um, which we operated through phased client payments. This is a product that we created that was able to support our financing, and also enabling our customers. That's the phased payment plan. We said people cannot pay cash at a go, and since there are no mortgages, there are no kind of stuff, so we had created what we call a phased payment plan. And that one also helped us and also helped our customers. And they were able to purchase properties in a phased manner. And also, we also built our cash flow, because cash flow is very, very important when you are running a business. And we have managed to build, of course, 12 housing estates. Um, I remember one day when we went to the bank to borrow the money, and when I reached one of the senior bank manager, we thought we would borrow the money when we were going to buy the land. And the bank manager looked at me and the team I went with, and he said, "Young man," I said, "Yes." "Young man," I said, "Yes. It's good to dream, but it's very dangerous to be a daydreamer. But every bold idea begins as someone's impossibility." Um, Real estate insights, I would say, vertical vertical development versus horizontal developments. They have because of our experience, have a different give different results, because vertical development is cost effective, because like one plot you can put about 8 housing units, but one plot you can but when you do vertical, I mean horizontal, you put one house. So when we were starting real estate, we concentrated so much on horizontal houses, that is bungalow houses. But our experience really was not the best, because we realized it was very expensive, and again, people's taste and preference. People have different tastes and preferences. It was we were finding it very, very, very difficult, but we managed to push the project. And of course, real estate, as you know, is a very good business because it has a stable cash flow. Let's take an example. If you have 10 rental units, you are sure of getting money every month. And every month, of course, some maintenance, but it is getting money throughout your life. Whether it is raining, whether it is dry season, whether there is even war, even when it's so, it is the only product that can keep on giving you money in all circumstances. So, this real estate is the best because once you manage to achieve anything of as a property that can earn you money, you are very much assured that you are okay. Um, of course, like clients who purchased properties from us, by that time, they were buying properties through installment. Take an example, those people who bought plots at 10 million by in the year 2005. The current price, where those people were buying the plot is now 250. So, doesn't it mean real estate is a good business? Buying a property, they have not added anything. Just buying, having your title, keeping it, and keep maintaining your plot. Currently now is 250 after buying 10 million. How people bought houses at 60 million. Now they are current value is 500 million. So don't you think it is a very good investment? Remember, the value has gone up and it will continue to go up, and yet the amount of money you bought the property was 60 million. So real estate supports employment across construction, administration, and services. Now, not of course, not everything is a bed of roses, eh? Of course, as we run the business, there were so many storms we had to hit. Remember, we were pioneers, and we suffered a lot, and we some of the things we had no experience, but we had those 5 C's I have talked about, which were driving us. But of course, along the way, we had so many troubles. The first problem was when we encountered the URA came up with just an estimate of taxes and said, you pay this money. We said, but how do we pay that money? Remember, we are pioneers, we have suffered a lot. We are the one meeting all the infrastructure costs, and the infrastructure is very, 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 very expensive. So how do you bill us so much money? So they said, no, you must pay this money. We see you have all of this. But we said we have borrowed money in about 9 banks and we are using banks' money. The money is very costly. And at the same time, infrastructure and also amenities, water, power, all those are things that take a lot of money like a call box. So how do you charge us so much? So as we were arguing, they rushed immediately. They wrote to our banks and a notice called the agency notice, where they freeze the account. They say you can't now withdraw any money. You can put money, but you can't withdraw money. So when they wrote an agency notice to our banks, and banks freezed our accounts, now banks were said, they went into panic. They said, for us, the money we give you the money for the people. Now we cannot give you the money, and when you have issues with URA, the moment you have issues with URA, then it means you are a risky customer. So please, we are giving you notice, please return back our money. Oh, we thought it was a joke. Then they wrote and said, please return back the money. You can imagine now, URA is behind you, pushing you to pay. Banks are saying, bring that back the money immediately because you are a risky customer. Now you are running very many projects. And remember, for us, we are the darling of every bank. And these banks, you can imagine having loans in 9 banks. The banks were forcing us to take their money because they're saying, oh, want to be part of the success, want to be part of success. And for us, we thought things are okay. And we took the money and we invested them in those big projects. That's why we ran so many projects at a go. So now when they record the loans, it was sweating blood. Eh? So we had, and of course, on a personal note, for me, I had sleepless nights, lost appetite. So it was really a turning point. Silent reflection, burst strategy. Uh, Strategy. When those problems came, I just kept. I went somewhere and I said, "What can one do?" Of course, I was so silent. I had to go into. I had what we call silent reflection. Then I came up with a strategy. Now, the strategy was to create the private treaty plan. And what is the plan? I said, by the way, these banks, we give them our collaterals, need to give us money free. Don't they have our securities? He said, yes. Now, why should I get worried? Now, I should get worried only if banks are the ones to sell our properties and if they take us to court. And if they do that, what are we going to lose? A property that would be 100 million, they will sell at 60 million. It means I will, or even 50 million. So I will be losing like half. Then, since I have been in this business of real estate, I'm the one who is the market. Can't I mobilize my custom, my marketeers, and we sell these properties in 90 days? And can't we go and convince banks to accept us? We sell such that they allow us to do what we call partial release. So when the idea came, then I said, I went to one bank. I negotiated like this. I said, manager, I've come up with a very good idea. And what is that idea? I said, the idea I have is that you have your, I know you have written me a letter recalling your loan. Now, in 90 days, your money will be on the account, but on the following conditions. Condition number one, I want you to allow a partial release. When we pay for one property, take your money, which is a first sale value. The rest of the money, I will also use it to settle my creditors, because we had people who were supplying us materials, doing what, so they had also to be settled. So when you take 60%, the rest is for me also to settle, or also to operate. Remember, all the accounts, all bank loans or bank accounts are freezed. Therefore, when I sell, 60 goes to your account, your bank, 40 I receive it cash, then I settle the creditors. Said another thing, to allow me do that, sell property by private treaty. He said, okay, that's a brilliant idea. I said, so can we sign an understanding? He said, yes. Immediately we went into an understanding with the banks so that we avoid court issues. Because if you are to sell the properties, if the banker will sell the properties, they had to go to the bank, to court, and secure a court order, then give a belief, then a belief advertises, when he advertises, then he sells, then again he pays part of the money, then he pays himself. So it was going to be a long journey, and also it was going to be a long journey, but at the same time affecting us, and at the same time affecting affecting us financially. So um, 9 banks whom we signed off this arrangement, at least 8 of them were completely settled, save one bank which we had not, which never accepted this arrangement, and up to now we have not finished paying it. But there's some other balances which is there. But if they had accepted, the matter would have been sorted out. Of course, land, we had also land and legal battles. We had Chibanja claimants on part of our land. We had forced caveators. People come and put caveats on our titles, which we are subdividing. Then we have a lot of people who were sabotaging us, and I'm sure they were the people behind these false caveators. And then we had also some land titles we would put in land office, and they disappear in land office, and so we end up not getting the titles in time from land office when we are transferring for our clients. So that that we persevered through courts and community resistance with patience, of course, documents and truth. We managed to shock absorb and maintain and manage all these challenges of the Vivanja, false claimant, sabotage, all those things, because we couldn't have avoided even courts. And those, we had to fight, because once you have the right thing, you can't allow somebody to come and take away your thing when you are seeing. So we have been fighting, but again, we have managed to win so many battles. We have recovered our pieces of land that was being trespassed on. Of course, some are still there, but at least substantially we have recovered so many parts of the pieces of land. Real estate in Uganda doesn't collapse because of design. It collapses because of unresolved land tenure. And that is one of the biggest problems. Land tenure is one of the biggest problems, because take an example. It is only in Uganda where you find land has a mile land. It is only in Uganda where you find land has someone called a squatter, and also has a right of ownership on your land. You have a title, someone owns the ground. So that tenure system is the one that is still causing a lot of problems. Of course, currently there is also another issue where there are historical encumbrances. Take an example: you buy land, it was from someone, it was transferred into his name in 1962. Now, after getting it from him, you put it in your names, you pay him the money. By the time of buying, you go to land office, you search, they give you a search paper letter saying that the land is okay. Now, after you have transferred the land into your names, you start developing. After now, you can imagine now this is 2025, but in 1962, now somebody comes, a grandchild, and says the title you have, which you bought from so and so, in 1962, our grandfather, there is no evidence that that title, the grandfather transferred it to the person you bought the land from, because we have looked for it, we don't see it. Therefore, you must have either stolen the title, maybe it was transferred fraudulently. Therefore, we are challenging your title. Therefore, we want your title to be cancelled, and then we talk over our land of our grandfather. And then when they go to land office, they connive with land office, and they pick the documents from there, from land office. And then when you go to court, the court will ask land office to come and defend. Land office will say, for us, we don't see those documents, we don't know, since we are not there by that time. And they don't guide court of what happened. And once land office fails to explain to court, court will give the ruling in favor of the complainant, and the complainant immediately will take over the land. And you, the bona fide purchase of the property who is having the title, your title will be cancelled. At the end of the day, you will find yourself, if you are running a project on that very land, you will have problems. So those are challenges that have been in land tenure system, which is affecting real estate. Of course, definitely for us as Akright, we have battled seriously. We have employed very many lawyers. We have researched. We have even gone very far into having private people in land office to go and search. And at times, those files, they are always hidden somewhere. And when you search so much and you put the money, the files will come up. Those the white page will come up. And after coming up, uh, uh, then then you, that's when you can be able, and you can be very lucky to redeem your property. If you don't get such a kind of thing, you definitely will lose a property. So those are things that we went through. So then Akright, of course, we remained on, we focused vision, uh, trimmed access, and refined focus. Okay. Akright City, we had to put up a well structured, clean, and endured development, which is now, of course, Akright City. And everything we have learned, all the problems and everything, we have experienced them in jump starting and developing that city, because all the problems were able to experience them when we were running it, because it had so many things to work on. So now, lessons learned. Lessons learned. Crisis is a revealer, not a destroyer. Calm is a strategy. Frustration, if approached well, uh, of course, frustration, if approached productively, produces a fruit. Systems may fail, but vision must remain. Persistence shapes legacy. Because I mean, when you continue struggling and no miracle, of course you will find yourself having a legacy. Will give you a legacy. So all those we have gone through them, and I think we have been with the persistence, our legacy is what we have. Which we can touch and feel our Akright City, which we have persistently managed, and also other estates that we have produced. Of course, those who have been the storms that we have encountered, and also how we have managed to manage them, and so far so good. Akright, so far we have covered 80% out of danger. We are out of danger. We are no longer now in a drip. The taxes is now history. Loans more or less closer to being history. Creditors also we have substantially handled. Debtors, of course, we have managed to recover our money from those who were having our money. Of course, we have remained with, we are in a range of 20% where issues that are not yet accomplished or resolved. One, we have land caveats. Some land are still having caveats, but we are we are removing them because we have documentation which is proper, and I'm sure we shall be able to remove them. Uh, Pending legal issues, yes, there are some people whom we have taken to court, and we are likely to get we are likely to get justice, and we shall be able to redeem our land that has been encumbered or wrongly caveated. Um, Also, there are some people that have sued us on some uh, issues of land, which I have said have come as a result of those um, some squatters, some false claimants, also have sued us, and we are resolving those issues, but not so much. That's why I'm saying it's 20%. Of course, there is unresolved claims, which for us to be able to clean up, and our strategy is at 2025, this year, before the end of this year, we should have accomplished this. Okay, what is the current future and focus of Akright? We are now in a strategy of vertical and commercial and residential developments. We are coming from horizontal developments into vertical developments and also commercial developments. We are also going into manufacturing, more especially on construction building materials. If you want to have affordable homes in Uganda, you can't buy the same material at Nakasero, and you have a man like Shudid also who buys at Nakasero, and you think for your property will be less value, less price from the when you are competing with somebody also who is buying from Nakasero and putting his wage about 10 times. So in order for you to compete, then you need to have building materials that are affordable. So to achieve that, you need to to manufacture your own building materials. So we are also going into the manufacturing of our building materials. We are also going into transformation of slums into affordable organized homes. We have managed to earmark some pieces of land in these slum areas, and we are on drawing board making designs, and also what we want is transform slums, because we once one stone will hit so many birds. So slum, since we are coming from a background of providing organized living environment, definitely when we go into slums, we shall be achieving a lot. We also we are saying we are saying that we want franchise. The franchise, Akright franchise, is now open to those who value our brand for quality of organized living environments. Let's say if you want to put up a project in Gulu, and you want to establish Akright and you can franchise it, we are very much willing as long as you follow our standards. And yeah, and many people, of course, have contacted us to do so, and we shall be able to, because this is now the right time, and we are willing to give you the franchise rights of operating Akright there. And 2027, we are stock market. We are listing shares on stock market 2027. When we are becoming 28 years as a company, when the founders are becoming 40, there must be a transformation, something very big that must be done. That must be a transition. How do we transit? We have started the company and we have grown old, and when we grow old, we are supposed to see a takeover of the company. So 2027, we are saying, public, be ready, prepare with your money, come and buy shares in Akright, and we leave Akright. We hand over Akright to you. We want fresh brains and fresh ideas and fresh whatever. And of course, 2027, we shall be having a very big prospectus that will be able to do a bigger projects. But in the meantime now, we are trying to consolidate on what we have on the table, 2027 into a bigger projects, but of course with new management and with new shareholders. Closing word. Negativity and impossibility is for yesterday. Positivity and possibility is for today and tomorrow. We have come through fire, now we'll find the gold. Let me repeat. Closing word. Negativity and impossibility is for yesterday. Positivity and possibility is for today and tomorrow. We have come through fire. Now we refine the gold. Thank you. May your tomorrow shine brighter than your yesterday. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I rest my case.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thanks a lot, Dr. Anatoli, for that an attempt to summarize what seems to have been a long journey. I think many of us have heard about the Akright story, but we possibly haven't heard it from this perspective. But a big, big thank you. When I was listening, I think, and many people on the call, you clearly see what it takes to be a pioneer, how hard it is to take that position of the first. You mentioned the fact that when you entered the business, the mortgaging market was very small or non-existent. You mentioned the fact that uh, you had a relationship with a taxman that almost took you out of business. I know many entrepreneurs here will identify. You mentioned the fact that you saw what it means for just the system in which we are, because the land tenure system we have is what we have, and it can prove complex. It can prove complex. But I think for me, what fascinates me is the idea of walking out of that and taking the time. And I think we are going to get into a moment to ask questions. And for me, one of the ones, Doctor, which I wanted you to ask is, what keeps you going? What keeps you going? Clearly, people, those who are hearing your story, there is a point there where it even feels logical to just give up and just walk away from this whole thing. It's the taxman, the landowners, the vivanja holders. But how do you energize yourself every day to be able to keep going? So that's a question you'll answer. Colleagues, we will have an opportunity to ask questions. Please put up your hands if you want to ask. I will give you an opportunity to ask, and then I will give Dr. Anatoli an opportunity to respond to those questions. But in the chat box, there is a lot of feedback in the chat box. Andrew Maweje, the kind of stories to learn from, real business lessons from from someone who we have known in the country. Martin says, thank you. Dr. Anatoli, you tell us a bit more about your book. I know that you have authored a book which I believe talks about this story comprehensively. When you get an opportunity to come back, you'll tell us during the response session. You'll tell us about your book. Martin says, from your book, chapter 5, can you shed more light on the formula of success in simple terms? I know it is a bit of your book. The book formula seems complex. So that's Martin's question. Chapter 5, explain chapter 5 to Martin. Martin is from Chiruhurai, one of the regulars on the Business Recovery Series. Dr. Kadama says, wow, thank you so much for sharing this down-to-earth story. That's from Dr. Kadama. Musa says, thank you for this wonderful presentation. Harriet says, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Ronald says, thank you so much for the presentation. Rubongoya says, great story. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Awori, absolutely amazing, a homegrown visionary. God bless you. Yes, that's from Awori. I see Andrew talks about the book. Where can we find the book? That's a question which possibly Doctor will also respond to. Where can we be able to find the book? Nduwayo says, from business strategy, yes, from business strategy to tragedy to strategy. That's the title of the book. Doctor will tell us about it. Bruce says, amazing story. Thank you for the presentation. Mary, thank you. Julius wants to hear more about how do you resolve this issue with the taxman? He says, how was the URI issue? Because I know many business people have received those letters. Accounts have been closed. How do you exactly go about resolving the situation? Dr. Anatoli, please talk to that question when you get a chance. Moses also has a question. Thank you so much for steering the company out of danger. You have talked about manufacturing of construction items. What type of materials are you manufacturing? Have you started? Are they steel bars, cement, primary materials? How will you steer the organization to the primary materials if you are going into that? And how will you manage the cost of real estate and the manufacturing? That's the question. I think Moses wants to hear more about your manufacturing journey. You mentioned that that's one of the areas which you're going into. So let me give a chance to Emmanuel. Let's just quickly ask the question and then I will give Faizo an opportunity. Emmanuel, please go ahead and ask.
Thank you so much, Ronald. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you, Emma.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Anatoli, for the passionate, authentic presentation. I mean, when you hear your story, it's as if you are swimming against the tide in that in these murky waters of real estate development. It's not so easy. Now, to me, my question is, okay, my observation, first of all, is as if you're in the risk environment you are participating in as a real estate. It is so risky, but it's as if you are putting both feet in the waters without really forgetting all the risks that are there. So like you're saying the loans and you're saying the land tenure system, which is like the biggest challenge in your business. I mean, even NSSF, which has much more resources, is also struggling. Now, what advice do you have for the risk management, risk diversification? How do you manage the risks going forward for your legacy to keep sustainable, even when you're long gone? Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you so much, Emma. Doctor will answer that question. I'll give Faizo an opportunity to ask, then Godwin, then I'll give Doctor a chance to respond. Faizo, please go ahead.
Yes, thanks a lot. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for the presentation, Doctor. Am I audible? Just to check.
We can hear you, Faizo.
Yes, not Faizo. My name is Olebo Fazil. I'm a food scientist by profession, so I'm in that line of food science and processing. Now, my question is, amongst all these circumstances and all these situations that you have been going through, are you still running as per the business plan? Then also, these days, our business plans, most of the development partners are encouraging us to have an exit strategy. So, were you still as per the business plan, and did that business plan have that exit strategy? Then did you reach the extent of exiting the particular venture? Did you hit your point at which you have to initiate the exit strategy? If at all the plan that you have was having that exit strategy. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Fazil, for that feedback. Dennis, go ahead and ask your question. Then Andrew, then we will have Doctor respond. Dennis, go ahead.
All right. Ronald, confirm you hear me?
I can hear you, Dennis.
All right. Thank you so much. Dr. Kamugisha, congratulations. And your journey, I think, has been defined by courage, commitment, and consistency. And from what I hear in your conversation, I guess God has also been amidst it all. So congratulations. My question is around what I see in the real estate right now. We see different models that are coming up. We see the condominiums coming up as a good business model, whether it's financed by foreign companies or otherwise. And these are not models that you had back then. We see the build and sell models as well coming in. And with all these models in real estates that are evolving and emerging rather, there is a bit of a challenge, and we as young men seem to be enticed to engage. What risks do you see in them? How can we prepare ourselves better? if at all we are to go in there. What is your analysis of the new real estate models that are emerging in the country? I hope my question is clear. At least to you, Ronald. I'm sure you'll do a loose transcription. Over.
Thank you so much, Dennis. I think the question is clear. Finally, let's have Andrew, and then I go back to Doctor.
Am I clear?
Yes, Andrew, we can hear you.
Great. Enterprise Uganda, and specifically to Dr. Eke, what a great story. It's very fast. One is, does Doctor have people that he's mentoring or coaching to pick on with this great business that he started, even as he plans to cross-list on the stock exchange? Two, what is his view about the model of low-cost housing versus the high-end housing that we see booming a lot in metropolitan Kampala and the other cities across the country? What is his view about that versus the low-cost housing model? Thank you, Ronald.
Thank you, Andrew. Doctor, let me give you an opportunity to respond to those, and then we can find time for another round.
Okay, thank you. Now, the one question was about risk management and also for the future. This is the answer. The current situation as far as the business of real estate, as long as of course where we are coming from and where we are going is that things are improving slowly, because now the government has put up what we call a national master fiscal development plan. They are planning every piece of land in the whole of Uganda. Every piece of land will be having a purpose of what it should be used for. And once those things are done, then the risks in terms of real estate will be minimized. And the reason why we have many problems is because every land, wherever it is, has no plan, and you can put anything, and at the end of the day, it gets different tenure system, it gets a different land use and also title. One is a lease, one is a freehold, one is a mile, one is what. Then you put so all those risks, to be able to manage them, you need to address them. You need to be aware of them when you are managing, because you cannot simply look at things from a positive side only, but you need to be very cautious about those other things, that they are part and parcel when you are managing, that they are always challenges that are going to come as a result of the confused land system, of confused land use, of I mean, all those kind of stuff. So then, of course, all those things apply on the market, on the demand, the people's taste and preferences. People with money have a complicated taste and preferences. People with little money, they have no choice. Like when you are building affordable homes of low-cost houses, at times, much as they have little money to pay, but their demands are accommodative, and there you can manage them. But people with money, they usually have a lot of demand. Their taste and preference is elastic, and therefore, when you are by risk management, you need to look at what kind of customer are you serving, and where are you serving him from. What is the land chain system that you are going to put that product. So all those things are, once they are put together, side, because it is together pro rata, and then you say, I think this is the best. So I think you also asked me about my book, and you that when you about my book, which is The title is From Business Tragedy to Strategy. And you asked about chapter number 5, that the formula is complicated. The formula is not complicated. It's very simple. What I said now, it is B to power 3 plus I to power 3 plus P to power 3 over knowledge economy. K and E is what we call knowledge economy, then and a stable political environment. When you put all these things as a formula, they give you what we call a dream business become a reality. Now, how does it come out? Believe means believe, begin, become. I stands for innovation, interaction, and also integrity. Then P stands for passion, practical, and patience. So those are basic, those are principles. But again, those things must be are also influenced by the knowledge economy. Take an example. If I am putting a business in Karamoja, where most of the people are not educated, it's too different from where I am putting up a business in Kampala, or maybe in a place like Jinja, or maybe a place like where people are more educated. Because the information they will understand it very fast, and they will understand the product very well. So when I put a business, it must the more the people are educated, the more it becomes easy for your product to. So another thing is about stable political economy. When you are running a business and there is war, that business cannot survive. So your dream cannot become a reality. So all the business rotates on stable political environment plus knowledge economy. When the other above are okay. So that's why I put them together to create a formula of how, when you are making a business, you must focus, you must look at those things and look at them. You must look at them holistically. Por rata to say. Maybe question number 2 is about a business plan. A business plan to be able to have a business, to run a business, definitely you need to sit down and research, get the information on the people you are going to serve. Also be able to search, you research on the problem, the statement of the problem, so that you know when you are designing a formula or a solution, you don't leave anything unturned. So because the business is always a solution to society needs. So if you are creating a solution to that problem, you must research. When you research, then you put down all the problems associated to that, and then you say, what is how best can I handle that? So a business plan is mandatory when you are going to run any business. So was Akright to have a business plan? The answer, yes, we had a business plan in our head. And then after that, of course, we also put the plan on paper by employing professionals to put it right. Of course, professionals are good at putting you. Of course, you have an idea, but who puts that idea of yours very well? So we use professional, they put the information very well. So we use the professionals, then they made what we call master plan. Akright City, it is the only project which has got a very approved master physical development plan, which talks to from the beginning up to the end, and even after the project, how you exit. Take an example like Akright City. I don't manage it now. I developed it to a certain level. After that, then I handed it over to the community, and the community is leading their community as one family, and one family. It is the only one where many people now are coming to study how communities can manage and run their own affairs. Yeah. So that is for I mean, all those are in the master plan. So now, when it comes to real estate models, yes, there are very many real estate models, but a model rotates on the statement of a problem. If I'm putting up a model, I first look at, well, this model I'm putting up is sort of what, and is sort of where. So those questions must be answered along those lines. So if I'm putting up a model in an area which is maybe middle income class, definitely um, those must be houses which are bit luxury, standard luxury, or super luxury. If I'm putting up houses at a place which is slum-like, Katwe or what, that must be affordable homes. I look at basic, standard and basic. Eh? So those are things that guide us when you are making a model plan, and definitely also the cost. If I'm putting up a model, is it going to be of a block like, or is it going to be a prefab? If it's a prefab, why? Is maybe I'm looking for affordability. So, and also look at areas which is swampy and areas which are maybe on top of the hill, maybe on a cliff. All those attract a certain design. So, the model, the construction or development is influenced by those things. So when it comes to how to prepare, um, uh, analysis on the new models, yes, the new models, of course, people are getting, maybe the new generation, they are coming up with modernity. Take an example, like now, if you build a house and you don't put in an element of smart home, where you touch the door and the door opens, I said, those excitements for the young people, that's what they look at. They have been born in this environment of technology. So they are in that excitement. So when you're building a house for them, don't you use the house for someone for Kamugisha of 60 years. The one of 28, 30, he wants just a smart home. Touch and the house opens. Touch, the power comes. Where you can even talk with power and the power comes by itself. So those are things so when you are preparing a model, you prepare according to the kind of people you are going to serve and their tastes and preferences and the kind of culture they have. So all those are the things that influence the kind of model you make. Then another thing is that, do Kamugisha have the people mentoring you? I can say definitely. When you say coaching, people mentoring me or coaching me, where technology has come, self-education is a must. Eh? Self-education, self-education is a must, and as it is a must, you can you can get any information you want on this earth using data, using all wherever on the internet, on Google, on what. So, and also reading books. So for me to be able to write a book, I also mean people who have written books in those developed world, and I'm very good at reading books because I am very thirsty for knowledge. I look for knowledge everywhere. Either for me, even I have moved all over all over the world. There is no country maybe I have not reached because I've been researching, and I get a lot of information. Whenever I go, for me, I don't go for these luxury things. Whenever I go, take an example. When I went to Singapore, I never slept. I was moving. Take me here, take me there, take me where, because I wanted to master Singapore. All the few days I stayed there for my first time, I had mastered Singapore as if I had lived in Singapore for whatever. Because since this country developed in that manner, it has very many things to learn. So that's how I've been acquiring my knowledge, and also friends here in Uganda. So I don't hang out with people who don't add value to my whatever. I deal with people who have knowledge, whom we can brainstorm, when we can challenge. I have my brother, this my childhood friend. We started Akright. We started when we were younger, challenging each other. So me, I call him brake and I call him myself an accelerator. So we usually have those challenges whenever we can talk from morning to another morning, talking about development, talking about challenges, and talking about solutions. And I find it as a hobby, and I love that kind. So people that I usually get and interact with must be of that. Anybody who doesn't contribute anything of the any knowledge or what, that is not part of me. So I don't know whether I have answered everything, but that is
Yeah.
what I can.
I think, Doctor, you could also touch on how some of the young people who you have been also mentoring into the business.
Yeah. Now, the good thing is I'm so much very proud and very happy that I have realized it. Wherever I go, whenever I'm in a lift, whenever I'm in even wherever, in a party, in a function, hey mentor, hey mentor, mentor. So actually, maybe they should be called another name of mine should be mentor. Oh mentor, oh mentor, oh mentor, oh mentor. So I'm called mentor throughout. Wherever I go, I am a mentor. You mentored me, I have started my own business. Oh, you have mentored me, I am also a CEO of the company. Oh, you have mentored me, I am a chief executive of the. Oh, you have mentored me, I am a commissioner. Oh, you have mentored me, I am now running the district. Oh, you have mentored me, I am the one in charge of the parliament. Yeah, you have some people who are now in charge of parliament. So, I mean, I am so much happy that my hands on my whatever. I have managed to influence many people who have become better. When I go to Kampala City Council, oh, mentor, 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 mentor. Oh, these are my people. You go to this, you give me your staff, oh, your staff, your mentor, your mentor, you mentored me, you mentored me, you mentored me. So that's it. So I think I'm very proud that many people have I mean, I've been transformed, or maybe I've achieved something out of my maybe mentoring them, or maybe sensitizing them, or maybe motivating them. I don't know, but that's it. Yeah. I hope maybe there is something also which
Right.
is talked about low cost housing. How am I going to manufacture those materials, or what kind of materials am I going to manufacture? Yeah, of course, we are going to manufacture materials that are related with construction, putting up house. Take an example: block making, pavers, prefab slabs, the culverts, then drainage channel, trolls, um, and many others. Or both of them rotate on construction materials. Then definitely we are also looking at being able to take these the waste, these plastic waste, recycle them. When you recycle them, then you mix them with cement, and then you can have like paper. So whereby we shall be solving many problems of recycling waste, and at the same time getting building materials that will be able to help us in what we can decide, like why do we need to use it. We can some of the houses to build in future, we shall be we shall be paving them using local materials arising out of the waste, and then plus other materials. So those are things we are looking at. It's a very big vision, a very big in whatever where we are going to manufacture heavily. But of course, that will be on, as I've told you, 2027. We are going to have what we call a prospectus that is going to show the dream, the future of the company, and where we shall be going. And that is the time when we shall be selling shares, and so that we get new people to bring in brains and money. But at the moment, we are using our small whatever to do whatever we are doing. The manufacturing will be at a low, but 2027 and thereafter, it will be a very big vision, a bigger dream of big manufacturing. Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Doctor. We possibly have time for just one more round. If you have a question, please put up your hand and I'll give you an opportunity to ask. In the chat box, I see Fiona. Fiona says, to a young person coming up like me, it is so inspiring. And even though I would want to give up on any venture I'm in, I would not have the option of giving up because of the story, because the story is clear about resilience and being able to keep in business. Sheila Kasuja.
Sheila, thank you very much for appreciating, and I want to encourage you, go ahead with the dream of going into real estate. And let me tell you, when you start something, and it is very easy to start, easy come, easy go. If something comes with a lot of challenge, then you know that one is going to last for long. So please come and join the real estate. It's a good business. So of course, as you have seen, you need to be courageous. You need to be very strong to understand that. But I would request you to go and buy my book, From Business Tragedy to Strategy. It is in Uganda Bookshop and also Aristoc, and it will give you a lot of insights. Of course, there are many things that I have not put here, but at least when you buy the book, you are going to get so many things in it. Thank you.
All right. Great. I think our time is running. I want to see if there are any hands. If you have a question, please put up your hand and ask that question. Fazil asks, where can we be able to get the book? Doctor, you could advise. I think I've seen it in a couple of bookshops, but you can share how Fazil. I'm not very sure whether it's also on Amazon. Doctor, you can share with us. Matthew says, how did you balance loans, tax issues, construction, and court cases, especially when things come at the same time? How did you manage to balance those? Henry, I'll give you an opportunity. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Yes, I put up a question in the chat. Probably maybe you can, haven't you seen it? Like question about climate and environment.
You can go ahead and ask it, Henry.
Okay, I wanted Dr. Anatoli to inform us. Environment concern are key issues in every development project now. I wanted them to elaborate to us how has he incorporated environment care concern in the estate development and building, and also maybe you can mention about the issue of climate change. Does it affect the estate and the construction business, and how has he handled these two issues of climate change and environment care? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Doctor. Possibly I'll add one or two questions before you answer Henry's question. I think Robinson says this has the presentation has opened us up to the land system challenges. Dennis asks, how do you quantify the qualitative parameters such as knowledge, economy, power in the formula? I think he's talking to the formula in chapter 5. You could just share how you quantify those. Henry asks, Dr. Anatoli, what is your view on Airbnb on the local, in our local urban locality? There are a number of people who are saying, you know what, I can do some Airbnb. What is your view on that? And then Doctor, you could go ahead and answer those, and then we can wrap up. Oh, Alex has his hand up, Kamukama. Alex, please go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you very much. I wanted to help Anatoli on the question of environment, if you allow. Number one is that through collaboration, we've been able to mobilize resources from Rotary, from PEPs, from different providers of resources. We have built a plastic recycling plant here in Akright City, and the whole purpose is to encourage the residents and even those who are in the neighborhood to be able to sort their luggage, their challenges at home, that when they are delivering these rubbish, they come out when they are sorted. But the only motivation for them to do that is when they are going to earn from what they have sorted. So this close to 400 million shilling factory, we are going to handle the question of garbage. Secondly, it is by request, not, you could even say mandatory, that every home must have minimum of 4 fruit trees in their compounds. To the extent that all our roads are named after trees, rather than calling them Kamugisha Road, we call it Mahogany Road. The purpose is to make sure that all roads have trees planted all along, and that helps in climate, in handling environment, but also in our valleys, wherever we have valleys. Not only have we kept the indigenous trees, but we have also handled water, flood management. We have done it by way of creating a kind of dams where water first settles before it runs off. So in terms of that, we want to say we are doing well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kamukama. And we are very happy that we also got to hear your voice. I think you are mentioned in the first couple of slides. And Dr. Anatoli, before you come on, and I wanted you to touch on this question, both Mr. Kamukama and yourself. The question of how do you maintain a partnership? What are the tips of maintaining a partnership over a long period of time? We have seen partnerships, they struggle. They struggle. What have you learned? Possibly you can comment on it, and Mr. Kamukama can also comment on it. Dr. Anatoli, please go ahead.
Thank you. Maybe many questions, but let me summarize them. The young person, okay. You wanted to know where the book can be found. The book is found in Aristoc, in Kampala, and also you can find it in Uganda Bookshop, and also you can find it on Amazon.com. When you open Amazon.com and look for this book, you'll find it there. Now, when it comes to the book, the formula, the knowledge economy, how did I calculate it? By calculating it, that all those are situations. The formula is built on the fact that when you have believe, begin, become, you have innovation, interaction, integrity, passion, practical, and patience. When all those are there, there must be influenced by knowledge economy. Knowledge economy means the area, the environment, the community you are going to put that business dream. To what extent are they sensitized? How educated are they? Or how are they going to be, how are they going to know? So it is very important to have knowledge. People must have knowledge. You must be told, must be informed, must be by using media, by using a radio, by using a television, by using whatever, and educate them and sensitize so that your business can be known. So in other words, I'm talking about knowledge economy, meaning how your dream, your business can be known to the people who are going to consume it, or the people that are going to benefit from it. Then another thing is about stable political environment. That one I talked about, that the environment must be stable. For like say 40 years, Seven has been in power. That's why you can see so many companies coming up and very many entrepreneurs coming up. But suppose we have been with wars, would be like Somalia, would be like whatever, all these, some of us as Akright wouldn't be existing. We are existing because there has been a stable political environment where we are making our dreams become a reality. Then the question of A and B, yes, it is the only way to go. The environment is changing, the people's taste and preferences are changing, people are minimizing they are minimizing the utilization of hotels in full. So some people want peace and they are finding it enjoying A and B, where someone comes and hires a house and it is furnished and lives there with his family and it is private and he enjoys it and they go. So it is now the trend. It is now, that's what is coming on to this generation actually. So this is, if you are running this business, you are doing it. I mean, you are on the right track. You are going to be successful because it is a business that is growing day and night. Then another thing about climate change, my brother has talked about it, but also to add on that is that we, before anybody would buy our property, would say you are supposed to put 4 trees in your compound, a fruit tree at least. And this, when if you are about 100 homes, that means 100 homes times those. If you are 1,000, that is a kind of thing. And also planting trees along the road. Now, when you come to Akright and you come from when you are going to the golf course, you are going to see from the top of the hill going down, see trees on this side, on that side. You drive through a boulevard, through a cover of trees, and would have wanted all the roads to be covered with very big, thick trees. But of course, Umeme is no longer there. But now, okay, former Umeme never allowed us to achieve it, whatever, because they were giving live wires and they have been affecting us. But short of those live wires, all the streets, all the roads should be having trees around them. So it becomes a green city, it becomes a forest city. So that's where we are. And so environment is our number one. Everything we do, and even planning, we make sure that a part for where it's supposed to be for green, it must be green. Where it's supposed to be for swamp, it means a swamp. Where it's supposed to be a drainage system, and and that's it. That's why most of Akright City, you will find that the biggest chunk is a golf course. Of course, with other places, nature, whatever, which is there, then plus football, whatever, green parks, children's parks, all those are in those valleys, which would be, but we never constructed houses in those valleys, but we had put on those trees and those recreational facilities. So lastly, someone asked, how have you maintained a partnership? Many people don't usually take their Nini for a long time. Now, the reason why we are celebrating 40 years in a partnership with my brother, that is in 2027, is that we met as young people when we were in 1977. And when we met, we shared very many things, and up to today, we are still, when we meet as if we had never met, and we can talk from morning to another morning. So what has kept us together is because of what we discuss is always solving society, creating a challenge, to mean, so creating solutions. We discuss because that is what has been our capital. Our capital has not been the money in the bank, but has been having ideas of solving people's problems. And at the end of the day, it has become our capital. So that journey of solving people's problems. You cannot end it. You cannot stop it. So it will keep on attracting us until God decides to take us away. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Doctor. I just wanted I wanted you to comment on foreign capital, especially which is driving the real estate market in the condominium space. Do you still believe there is space for the local investor in the real estate market, or in 20 years? I think that's a question which Dennis asked. What are your comments on that?
Yeah, of course, I would say that the local people still have a lot of opportunity to explore in real estate. So they don't have enough liquid cash, but you structure, because you don't need, you don't need to have cash for you to start a business or to run a business. A good example is us. I've told you, for us, we didn't have that money in the bank, but we used that arrangement of ours by creating solutions, packaging here and there and there. You borrow from this local bank and you get customers here. And for us, of course, when we found ourselves we were not having the money, we structured a payment plan where clients were the one financing us. Take an example, there were virtual houses, which maybe I didn't get time to talk about them. Our biggest product in our Nini was what we call virtual houses. What are you saying by virtual houses? People to buy houses which don't exist. Then they keep on paying money. The first deposit will go into foundation. Then another payment, you go into wording. Another payment into the roof. Another payment into finishes. Then at the end of the day, the house is complete and is paid and financed by who? By a consumer. So you don't need to have the cash with you. So when I encourage or I advise the local investors who want to go into real estate that you can use your resources you have as long as you have the land. What is important is to have the land. If you can have the land, and if you don't have the land, look for people who have the land. You come with an idea and you package. If you are a surveyor or if you are an architect, you are an architect, get somebody with land, put your architectural services on the land, get a consumer of the product and buy the product, a virtual product, and he will pay you. So of course, how is he going to benefit? A house that he would have bought when it's finished, you can buy it 100. But if he's buying a virtual, it will be like 85 million, which means he's also looking at how much he's saving. You work backwards. What would have been the cost of money borrowed in the bank? You pass it over to him. A house at 100 million for him, sell him at 85. And if you have borrowed the money to build it, he would have sold it 100, but 15 million, the difference would be an interest of the money for the bank. So you can bypass the bank. So what matters is how you package the what? The product and deliver it to the market.
Super, super, super. Great. Doctor, we have had such an amazing morning. Thank you so much for blessing us this morning. So many nuggets to walk away with. But I think most importantly, just the power of resilience, sticking to it. We celebrate you. We celebrate what you have done for the sector. You are a pioneer in this sector. You opened doors for so many people. And you saw things years ago which have come to life now, but many were not seeing at that point. So we celebrate you. We are very grateful for your time. And I just wanted you to share your final remarks with the people on the call.
Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to listen to me. At times, such opportunities are not always there, but if you can have an opportunity to communicate to the people, and more especially sharing with them your experience, because I know my experience can solve someone's problem. More especially, I see many people having many problems. You see them having loans and they go and hang themselves. How do you hang yourself because of a bank loan? Yeah, if it is to go, let it go. Yeah, you don't need to hang yourself because there is tomorrow. You can do it better if you know. So I want to say First of all, I want to say all these things are done for us. God loved us, and we believe in God so much. And we usually pray. We usually use God first. We say, God tell us how we can do it. And God tells us, He says, no, today do this. You pray, and then He says, oh, when you were there dreaming, basing, then God tells you what to do, and He does the thing. And so God has always been our protector and guiding us and favoring us. So thank you so much. And you are at your own time. I'm free. I can be visited on Saturday or Sunday in our place, Akright City. Of course, I am a private road mayor there, so I am able to take you around, and you learn more. And I have a passion, and I have a hobby. I mean, it's like a hobby. I like making people appreciate and understand and also learn so that they can do better at their places. Thank you.
Super, super, super. Great. Thanks a lot, Doctor. We are very, very honored to have you share with us such an inspiration to the many entrepreneurs who are on the call. A big thank you to everyone who has joined us on behalf of the Enterprise Uganda family. Thank you so much for coming every Thursday to listen. We are always blessed by the entrepreneurs, largely local entrepreneurs who have done things which many of us want to attempt to do. So thank you so much for taking off the 1.5 hours to come. And we will be back next week still with another interesting conversation. And I'm really hoping that each and every one of us can pick these lessons and move. Doctor, I don't know whether you can type your email address or contact in the chat box so that some people who might want to reach you can be able to do that, or someone or your office, so that we can be able to contact you. Thank you so much. We are honored to have you. Doctor, say thank you to the entire team you have with you. We appreciate them for making this possible. I think that's perfect face which I'm seeing in the corner there, but we are very grateful for the support you have given us. Perfect.